Right, we're here.
Right, see you in the morning, pal.
Okay. Let's jump onto PC2, have like 2 games, and then we'll do number crunching. He's back.
Clown shoes. Right. Are we live?
Yes,
Something happening.
just now.
Hi. Oh god, Firebat streams talking. Sorry, Firebat.
Nick, how's it going? Uh-oh. Computer slowly dying. There we go.
I don't know whether... Oh, I see. I can hear myself. This needs to stop.
It's summertime? I guess so, maybe.
Okay. Oh, I've just seen the scoreboard, Joe.
Oh yeah, let's get that out of there.
That's unfortunate, isn't it?
Sorry for spoiling it.
That's alright. I'll catch up eventually. How loud was I being there, Joe, while I was out of the room? Hopefully you can
I could
hear
hear
much.
bits and bobs.
Cool. Can we talk about how wild the lack of Zoroark was in top 32 Portland? Well, Danny Pranter, today we're going to be crunching some numbers.
Oh.
We're going to be looking at, ideally, what the best deck is for Brazil. I don't know whether we're going to look at top 32 for Portland today or Wednesday.
Today.
Today? Okay, yeah. So we'll look at the top 32, and then we're going to look at the past month and a half's worth of results and try and work out how Joe's going to win Brazil.
I think it's more than a month and a half, isn't it?
Surely it's just Ultra Prism stuff, so it's a month and 2 weeks. If that.
Okay.
In a week.
Man, it feels like it's been longer.
Yeah, Malmo was only like 5 weeks ago.
That's mad.
It feels like a long, long time.
We're not building the deck that will win Brazil, but we're letting you know the decks that you need to have on your radar to win Brazil.
We're gonna end the day with archetypes. Hold on a minute, there's a battle compressor in your hand.
Yes.
This was not the format I was expecting.
There's another tournament on the horizon, Jack.
There is. I'm probably not coming. I really can't afford the time off of uni or the time not revising, so I'm probably going to leave you to win that one.
Cheers. That's generous of you.
Get the spreadsheet emojis ready. We'd probably have a sub button if Joe didn't decide to crunch some numbers today instead of...
They'll all tell you that it was a good decision on my part. When they see this spreadsheet, they are going to love it.
There's dragons in this. Oh my god, Joe, you've done something here. This is incredible.
Chaos wheeling.
Congrats on your partnership, Jack and CCG. Congrats. Congrats. Don't know why I'm saying congrats to you. Thanks, Danny Framper.
Congrats to you. You got it all along.
Congrats for seeing that post.
Congrats for eyes.
About that sub button. Mark's here. Hey, Mark.
Top deck Ultra Ball. What a guy. What a god. What a god. And that's the format. Yeah, so Jack, I started testing this yesterday. It's okay.
It's okay? It seems... Is okay good enough?
I don't know.
Or is that one of those okay where it's actually bonkers?
Well, a lot of people don't like to play Ranger. And that's good for Chaos Wheel.
That means Chaos Wheel does spit.
There will probably be an angry tour in the next regionals because it's expanded.
They'll probably still get around 5 grand and 200 CP. But he'll do it whilst angry.
He'll be fuming.
Why is there a Mewtwo?
It's broken.
I missed that memo. It's a whole 10 damage. Zoroark is even better. That's true. Zoroark doesn't take 2 shots anymore. It makes 1 shots. That's pretty good.
None of those are my 4 float stones. Bummer. I think I'd rather set this up. You don't care about his Lele too much.
Oh, well.
Bloodstone. Broken.
Mm.
Ha! Broken. Don't forget Shaman.
What?
Just a comment. Don't forget Shaman.
Just don't forget Shaman.
Don't you forget it.
Good card. Good card. Draws cards.
E-Hammer removes energy cards, and his deck is based on hitting stuff with more energy cards attached to them. Thinking.
Right, I should get to prepping some videos.
Can you finish off those stats, Jack, that I couldn't finish off?
What? Where did you get to? Am I going to be able to tell? I'm probably going to be able to tell.
You can definitely tell.
Oh, I can definitely tell. Okay, let's finish off some stats.
It's going to be really annoying for you to flick back and forth.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
But you left me. You left me 5 minutes early. That's exactly the amount of time it would have taken to finish this, I think.
Exactly the amount.
I won't time you. I would have timed me because I have 2 sheets. So it might take you 25 minutes.
Overall, greater than 100 player events. CP. Okay, now I know where we are. Oh, guys, you're going to love this. There's so much. Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, I see. Oh, you've already done all the work for me. This is great. Haha.
It's all there for you.
4th. Okay. Wait. Fifth, 6th.
Do we have a stream schedule? Yes, we do. We stream every Monday and every Wednesday. Mondays is 9 p.m. till 12 p.m. our time, UK time. And on a Wednesdays it's 8:15. There you go. Nightbot's got us.
I need to change that. We also do bonus streams. Keep an eye on the Discord. There you go. Got all the facts for you. Not gonna lie, I forgot we even had exclamation mark schedule as a command.
Do we even want to hit this guy? It gets rid of a potential trash launch off the board, but it takes a prize for us, and that's pretty bad. I think we're holding. Sticking to our guns. Let's stick to guns. It's unlikely that he has Psychic Blower Guz. That's what we're scared of. Remember when Senpai ignores you? Sorry, I wasn't really following chat just because everyone's doing commands. Let me read it. All I see is poggers for Giratina.
Giratina poggers. Oh wait, who changed the tournament one? It's genius. Oh, Mad Captain, you did it. I forgot I gave you access to doing that.
He has the power.
Let's have the power. The next high level tournament, Joe, and maybe Jack.
10. So I can't play an item card ever again. That's a shame when we have so many item cards that we want to play in our hand. This is probably good for confusion beetling us over. Could draw into DDE and have a pretty poor turn. So you probably have to get through this Garbodor the hard way. The GX way. But then he can go 3, 6, 9, 12, 180, 160. He can still choice band his way to deal with this. So I think we go the GX way, but then we continue to play items. That's probably our best line. So maybe it's not the GX way at all, maybe it's just the big bump daddy. How good is big bump? We'd rather be bumping other stuff, especially because we've lost our thingamajigger, this guy. And Chaoswell's really bad in this matchup. We're in trouble. We're in so much trouble. Bad matchup. Bad plays. All sorts of bad. If I GX and he does have choice band, we're in so much trouble. He's so like to play choice band, right? He probably plays 7 tools. Haven't seen any yet. But the big blow up, I think we're running out of fuel. Let's just do it. Zorgarb is my friend in Expanded. Maybe I'll try it. Is a tournament in Germany with the paper version of Pokemon. Yeah, it's the cards. The physical cards themselves. Yeah, we're in trouble. We are in lots of that. How do I win? Hit our last elixir, poggers. That takes us to 2 prizes. Then this dies, then we have no way to win. We'll see what happens. Okay, still learning Expanded. We're learning. When you're learning, you've got to go back to your old favourites.
I already know what's being played and I'm not watching the stream.
Jack, don't tell them.
They're ahead of me. Can you tell me?
Can I test Persimmon? Well, let me tell you. I've done a lot of stats today. Persimmon ain't on any of them. he truly isn't on any of my stats.
I thought you were going to turn around and say it might be a really good pick. In the 5 minutes I left you with numbers, you just somehow worked out Persimmon was the play.
The opponent both priced up 4/4 storyline. I can play balloon memes in standard, and I have. Number crunching does indeed mean spreadsheet hype. I have been busy typing away, and that's what Jack's doing right now.
I'm cleaning up the mess.
That's the wrong Tina partner. Maybe. Does a lot of damage though. I guess you're just thinking Toad Tina. Just in time for memes. Mate, this is the expanded Bediff you're talking about right there.
You watch your mouth.
You watch your tongue. Do I regret saying Espeon wasn't good because everyone was teching for psychic weakness, and does it feel like Lurantis all over again? I still think Espeon Gov's probably not great. It was a good tournament for it, but I don't think it's that strong overall. I think it was hugely insightful that Xander said that he only faced 3 Zoroark decks. That'll show you how he did well, right? So, yeah. Good player, good deck, good tournament run. Normally means you can go far in a tournament. And Espeon Garb is a good deck against a lot of the decks that he played. So, there you go. Well, Toad's a problem for our Bediff. That's a shame. Expanded Dog Trio. Toad Tiddlers is really hard to dramp a Garb. Probably true. Well, that's not a Miss DCE, is it? I mean, I'll always stick to... I'm stubborn, so I'll find an argument as to where I still sound right, even if I'm wrong. So, it's fine to poke holes, but I'll try my best to always sound right. Genius. He's a bloody genius, this one.
Muting you real quick, Joe.
Was it for what I just said? That actually helps us a lot. Opens up our beach more. Super Potion, hell yeah. Super Potion's like an ace spec in this deck. This is indeed Quad Regirock. The broken deck. Oh yes, look at all of these playable cards. Can't believe my luck. What does Super Potion do? Heal 60, discard 1, attached. This man knows exactly what to do against our deck. That's a problem. Okay. why is it A-Spec level good? Because it's just such an important piece to this deck. When you get your Sash popped on a Regirock, you can combine Super Potion with PCL, reattach a Sash, and keep attacking. So it's an alternative to having a Scramble Switch turn, essentially. Oh, look at all these playable cards. Also, when we have played Scramble Switch, it's a free 60 heal, which is also good because a lot of the time people will poke your Regirock if it's got a Sash on it to try and, you know, pop it without it physically being discarded. So all the sort of Sky Return nonsense that people will try, you can just Super Potion right off and be chill. We're in trouble, folks. Toad ain't good. If we're continuing to attach energy, it's fine, but we're not continuing to attach energy. So it's not fine. Super Potion heals 60. It also really helps out against snipe damage. We are an item-reliant deck. You may have noticed. We are a combo deck. 60. Broken. Exactly. Now you're on board. So I'm guessing he grenade hammers this guy, and that's the turn where we can like try and play as many items as possible, but the hand's not quite ready for it yet. Guzma not helpful. Let's buy some more turns. We also have the win condition of him gets a sing for deck out. Let's thin a card that we would otherwise draw. Or two cards that we would otherwise. Sure. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's not quite on deck out range for him. The sad part is, you know, I'm actually considering it. Yeah, of course I am. This is how much of a minefield I think Expanded is. It's so crazy that I would rather my opponent not be able to do anything against me because I just don't know what they could do against me. And it scares me. So instead I'm just going to sit back, let my wobs get hit about for a bit, and figure out a plan from there. Ah. It's over now. So we can go 1, 2, 3. Won't play this. We'll play all 3 of these, I believe. We want to ideally have PCL in hand if he wants to go slowly. I can wait one more turn. Okay. Play Strafe Dom Fan, that's another tempting option. If the Diancie Prism Star was released, I might play Dom Fan. That with Diancie is pretty nuts. Okay. Will he blink or stick to plan Quaking Punch? Depends on the Acerolas he has in his hand. He has like 10. He could just chill an Acerola and Quaking Punch this down. If he goes slowly and Quaking Punches this down, I think we always lose. If he brings up this guy and goes for Grenade Hammer, we have a chance to win. Oh, you greedy man. I guess he could still Quaking Punch. Oh, whoa, the laser. That changes everything. Oh, you pot of greed. I mean, we still always lose, but don't tell him. Super Potion just in time. I still attach this here for scramble plays? Question mark. Yeah. No, we're never ahead in the game. Okay. I'm just going to play 2 of these. Karina's better than Cynthia in this spot if we get released from item lock. Which we're going to try and hope to do. Hitting him makes it easier for him to attack me. Do I ever beach up and try and get some puzzle value? I mean, there's nothing really I want to puzzle. So I guess we still just smack. What is this deck? Oh, lucky boy. Okay, that's just not nice, is it? Okay, so now we need a PCL top deck. Or we always lose. Hey guys. Welcome to OmniPoke. I've taken an incredibly wrong turn somewhere.
Okay, so I'm back.
Yeah.
I've just seen you top deck that PCO.
No.
That was disgusting.
Did I?
Everything's done, by the way.
Okay, sick.
So I can get on to doing some slides.
Oh,
I'm just going to do like the top 7 decks maybe, so we have shuffle room.
Joe doing Joe things. Hit an auto loss. What can you do?
Joe things.
One more game, then, because we got a lot to do, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
Shows how seriously I'm taking Expanded, guys. Taking it super seriously.
It's playing the best deck in format. That should tell you, Joe. Oh, Joe, you're screen sharing. That means I'm live. I'm live today. Oh, it's gone. I'm no longer live. Thought I was the chosen one.
Could lag me. Could lag me out.
you.
Just wanted to get that top deck in. Yeah, I did. They're playing a pure fairy deck. Pure
Oh, yeah.
fairy.
That sounds like my deck. My kind of deck.
Speed Florgus.
Oh, yes.
That's pure fairy. Xerneas without Lele's or Guru.
Deck was flames. Every deck plays Lele. What the hell is this?
I just don't know anymore.
To be fair, it's against Squad Regirock, so...
I might have to concede, because they're not loading.
Imagine getting baited. You got baited into...
Nobody got time for that.
Baited into conceding, mate.
Oh, I saw water in the animation again. It's another Toad deck, I'm upset. It's like our only bad matchup apart from everything that plays Acerola. Yeah, Doomsday, you're not wrong. The great thing is, Zoroark's not even a free matchup for this deck, because you can get assist out the game. That's the joy of playing this deck. And you can lose to opening bad hands.
Okay, right. I need a design. What design should we go for today?
Hossine05, what do you want to trade? What do you need?
What do you want to trade?
Toad Survivor. Don't worry. It's fine. I really don't care that much. Is it worth us versus seeking now? I guess it kind of is, because if we get drawn into a bunch of item cards and get punched, we want to shuffle out of there.
Jack's mic seems a touch loud. I'm using a different mic today. I don't know how to turn it down, so Joe's going to have to turn
his
end down. I think I'm a little bit too loud.
Oh, I turned you down a little. Try again now.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, I think that's better. I'm being kind of quiet as well today. I don't know why. They spent their Cyclone very early.
Oh, Joe, this slideshow is already looking flames.
Have I seen Japanese tournament results? Depends which ones we're on about. I saw the ones David posted about. Yeah, I saw that one. Stealth Joe, the new Turbo Tord. Oh, he missed Quacking Quack. That is incredible
Quackity
news.
quack.
It's the best news I've had all week. It's Monday after all.
Where am I saving images for videos? Yeah, there we are. Lycanroc Midnight Form. Spoilers. Good card.
Even though it's clogging up our tropical beach, we only want to draw into energy, so this is fine. 6. I don't think I want to recycle a Cynthia. I don't think it's worth. What's Robosub? It's a little fella with some sunglasses on.
Brilliant.
Little fella. Ooh, he's only guessing for 2, so either he top-decked DCE or he's really got a pretty bad hand. Yeah, bad hand.
I need to go and do some investigations of our old videos.
Zorok, what's that? I guess you wouldn't know if you were just watching the US stream. Good lord. What is life? So I guess we go in and smack because they're not doing anything. Let's try and pressurize the boy. Ah, top deck DCE. Or debated us. One of the two. Pokemon definitions, Robosub, little fellow. Yeah. Let's see the jank pile. Wasn't the US stream a Mark meme Sunday continuation? Pretty much. I think Mark ended his stream by saying, if you want to continue meme Sunday, just watch the rest of the official stream. Or the still unofficial stream, I guess. But this Toad is a much easier matchup because he only hits 30. So when we find PCL, we're lolling. If I'm expecting more Toad, I could play double PCL. I don't hate it. But additionally, I could just play Ranger. USA Buzzwole versus Europe Zoroark, who would win? Great question. Oh, Poison Barb's tricky. Does Poison Barb work? It doesn't work, right? Something I should know. Huh. Thinking. Let me think about this compared to any other card that's been previously used on a Groudon. Ah, it shouldn't affect me because it's a item card, right? It does work, says someone. Am I going to lose myself in the game right now?
That sounds exciting.
Yes, I am. Good times. It's all in the name of fun. Okay, so this is actually also an auto loss. So every Toad is an auto loss. Specifies excluding tools in stadium? It does specify that, you're right. I'm dumb. Hello, go Power Rangers. Nice science. We did it for the science. I don't even read. Get us out of the lock. Boy. We're on an 8 win streak with Zoro Ninja. Good lord. That is another deck that's not on any of my spreadsheets. And just to clarify, Raichu's on my spreadsheet, so that should tell you the tier we're talking. Yeah, Mad Captain, I saw all those cards. Pretty interesting stuff. I don't think anything's busted. I think there's like 3 cards that are actively bad, and then the rest are like reasonable. This really sucks. Don't know why I'm humming Go-Go Power Rangers, but whatevs. What's with Crunchin numbers for Brazil? What does it mean? No offense, but I'm bad. I mean, we've played 2 auto losses with this deck, and it's a fun deck, so... Little Sis Latias, how many CP do you have this season? That moment with that already, when they have more enemy, anyway. Seems like it'll be a good clown fiesta, yeah. $327? Oh, that's nothing, man. That's nothing. I want a cool 500. So. And I suck. So you must really suck. Just kidding. Okay, let's crunch some numbers. Okay. It's been an honor playing against me. What am I doing? Oh, yeah. This. Haha! I have been doing stats. Lots today. Okay. Where's the mariachi band for the fiesta? So what we've learnt is I need to test a lot more expanded before I go to Stuttgart. Right. There's been a lot of tournaments going on. I actually need to do something quickly. Let me we should go through the this weekend's tournaments first. Lots of tournaments have been happening. Here we go.
I'm back again.
Okay, cool. We're gonna go over Portland.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I keep ducking and diving for family stuff.
So,
Portland.
Yes. Let me just start with today's Theorymon is going to be about all the tournaments that have happened since Collinsville. Collinsville being the first regional with Ultra Prism. So we've analysed the stats for all of these tournaments, thanks to Limitless. And this is going to be the main topic, but let's first look at Portland, the most recent American regional. Pretty small regional.
Yes.
466 Masters is pretty small for a US regional.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that the results were not important or interesting. And they were definitely interesting. So this was the first of its kind in that Lucario GX was legal. So one of these promos that in theory can spice things up. I remember when the last few important promos came to tournaments, it was London when there was like Celesteela and Pheromosa and Xurkitree, and people were sort of having to debate on how powerful those were, and a bunch of people turned up with Celesteela decks just because they thought it was good enough. And let's see if people took the risk with Lucario and see where he ended up, because that is a pretty hyped promo, which changes quite a bit, even though the actual format itself is the same. So bear that in mind. The winner was a Psychic deck. It was Espeon Garbodor. So Xander, obviously a known player at this point. He played thick Garbodor line, 2/2 Espeon, 1 Dram Popper, 1 Tauros, this fella. He's come back. It's like he's played a deck from a year ago, basically. And he's playing Lele's. It's got the traditional energy split. It's got 4 N, 4 Guzma, 3 Sycamore, 3 Cynthia. So he's buffed up the support account from previous lists. Sticking with the 1 Bridget, 4 Ultra Ball, 2 Blower, 1 Super Rod. So this really is like I mean, if you were to look at my worlds list, that's how far back we're going for something like this. It is like similar, but really the main change is that you're playing 3 Cynthias now, which is like a small boost in consistency, I guess. But that's really it. So yeah, Cut versus Ika showed up at Portland, somehow won. Pretty much. But yeah, Espeon Garb. It's had a few placements here and there. I think in what was it, in Collinsville there was like a couple top 32s, but no one really batted an eyelid, nor should you really. In Expanded, the Garbled dexed a bunch, but here, real breakout performance, first and second.
Yeah, the lists are identical as well, right?
I think they were identical. We'll look at I think they are because they played each other and they.
I'm pretty sure they like built the list together.
I
may have read that wrongly, but yeah.
So, really, this is capitalizing on the popularity of Buzzwole decks for a start, and also the expected popularity of the Lucario decks. So, Espeon Garb, definitely a better play this weekend than maybe last weekend.
Yeah.
But I'm still super surprised to see it win. Just because, I don't know, it didn't feel like the strongest deck. It feels like there's limitations here. It feels like it can lose quite a lot of the time to Zoroark decks, even with 2 parallel. I don't think it's not like heavily teched for Zoroark. It's not like it's playing Flare Grunts or like E-Hammers or anything like that. It's got the Dramper, it's got the parallels, but not a huge... It's not like, I guess, teching.
People just aren't used to playing Garb again. Playing against Garb again.
Yeah, maybe it's got to a point of greed where decks are back to like 2 blower.
Like, Trashalanch hasn't been tier 1 or hasn't seen like tier 1 success like it used to for a long time now. So I think maybe people just weren't ready to, didn't think about how their deck functions without items and ended up rolling.
Does well against all the top 32. Well, yeah, Deadly Bee, that's exactly why it ended up doing so well. The top 32 itself is a massive like head scratcher because it felt like, and Xander even said this in his winning post, he only played 3 Zoroark decks over what is essentially 17 rounds, I think. So that's really bizarre. Like, your preparation for a tournament would be out of 17 rounds to face like 5, 6
minimum.
Half that is like crazy. You'd think in day 2 you'd like definitely face like 2 at least. So pretty wild to only face 3, and the top 52 reflects that in how successful they were. There's been all sorts. There's like Mill decks, there's Bulu, there's all sorts going on in this cut. So let's look further.
Yeah. I mean, the cut, like, as much of a head scratcher as it is, once you spot that there's no Zoroarks, this cut makes sense. This cut really makes sense.
Yeah, but it just doesn't make sense that Zoroark wasn't played.
The fact that there wasn't much Zoroark being played is the bit that doesn't make sense.
I get
I look down all of these decks, and all of them have a pretty good Zoroark matchup.
Well, I don't know about that. I
think a lot of them do.
Nothing is a good Zoroark matchup, Jack. That's where you're wrong.
Grossly assumed. That statement right there.
I think there's a reason why there's fear in America more than maybe Europe. So why it's maybe more surprising for us, because Buzzrock is super popular, and there was also Lucario coming out, which was anticipated to be good. So I can see why there was a bigger fear to play Zoroark than maybe ever before. But
yeah,
I still would have thought that tried and true.
Yeah, the deck should have carried itself to a bit more than just. I think there's 4.
Like, it won Collinsville. I think it top 8'd as well. Russell top 8'd with it. I don't know why people weren't just still playing Zoropod and other Zoro stuff. Anyway. Vika Bulu came 3rd. Huh. Let's just check how many Bridget he plays. That's right, none. Yep. I'm still not going to respect this list. I still just can't do it. It's still not mathematically right. I'm so sad.
Yeah, but when you can lily into your 2 nest balls, it's fine.
But if you go back and watch the top 4, he bricked game 1, he bricked game 3. So that's yeah, that happened. And I'm not surprised that happened. But yeah. So yeah, Kika Bulu comes third with someone other than Kika. But people like nest balling a single grubbin, apparently.
People like praying.
That's more words than I gave Kika Bulu last time we spoke about it. So if you think I'm disrespecting it, that's me talking for as long as I can about the deck. So we see our first action with Lucario GX in a Zoroark variant, also in top 4. Playing a 3-2 Lucario line, playing 2 Mew EX and Mewtwo. So
I think that contributes a lot to its success in top 32.
that's what it means.
That is hating on fighting.
That is really trying to get as much of an edge as possible. Interestingly, it also played Regirock EX.
Yeah.
Some math fixing. You can hit
Regirock
180.
Regirock does make some nicer numbers. I must like there was times where I was hitting this. I played this weekend, and there was times where I had to like dig for second strong energy when 10 damage would have helped. So I can't remember any like directly off the top of my head, but there definitely were times where it would make sense. But I don't think you can play it. Despite that, there's like. I'm comparing this to my list, and there's so many cards that I just don't understand.
Like what?
How you can't play 2 Mew and Mewtwo is very good for psychic, very very good psychic like coverage, but Mew gets responded really easily, so I think Mewtwo is better.
It's weird. It's weird.
I definitely wouldn't have that flip flop.
It's weird that he plays 4 strong as well and no basic fighting, because he limits his own Mew's power as well. If you're going to play 2, you'd maybe even play a 2-2 split of strong and fighting energy, at least 3-1. If you are going to play a full 8 energy. That seems weird to me. They're also playing no Acerolas.
No Acerolas. Are they playing any bouncing cards at all?
No bounce.
Nothing at all? That's so weird. I don't like that, because...
No bounce and no Kukui either, because one thing that other Lucario variants were doing were trying to compensate for a lack of bounce by just going, well, I guess a strong energy Kukui choice band is still 2-shotting stuff if I'm hitting the active.
I think no Kukui's fine with Regirock, but I think if I had to choose, I'd prefer Kukui. Because it's also it's just another trade. It's drawing more cards.
Yeah.
No bounce is so risky because you have to keep your stuff as Riolu's, otherwise you can't boost damage. So no bounce is weird. Not being able to reuse that first attack is mental. That first attack is so good.
But hey. That's what we have to go off of right now.
But still, I mean, I compare this to my list, and my list was way more techy.
Right.
So I see why if you didn't hit the matchups that I played the techs for, then this list was definitely way better.
He's fit all of his tech slots into I want to beat the fighting stuff.
Yeah, which works. I mean, this weekend I played against decks that I needed my techs for, so this list wouldn't have worked at all.
I guess in the simplest mentality, he's playing the Zoroark engine and just saying, I have fighting for the Zoroark mirrors and I have psychic for the Buzzwole stuff. So
yeah, looking at it more, it makes more sense. I think I'd definitely play 2 Mewtwo over 2 Mew though. Mew is so easily responded by everything.
I think I'd just play 1-1 and maybe even Stretcher.
It's not playing Stretcher, is it? Yeah, I'd probably play Stretcher as well. Because there was weird times this weekend where, especially with no bounce, there's weird times where things like now Oricorio seeing more play, they can do really weird things with damage counters. Yeah. So Stretcher was MVP this weekend. It was really good. So yeah, 1-1 and a Stretcher actually I think is nicer because it means you can get around them hitting you for like 180 and then you just retreating, especially if you have no bounce and no max potion. It means they can't like take 2 prizes plus set up something else with an Oricorio in the late game.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting list. I like it, but I would change a couple of things.
Mm-hmm. But it's good to see that the archetypes, in and around
Yeah.
the top.
Well,
That's
when we
good.
get to looking at number crunching, I think we see Lucario actually looks like it's going to be a really, really strong card.
Uh-huh. Yeah. See our first Buzzrock. We're not going to go through every list because eventually you'll see that Buzzrocks are fairly similar. I do want to look at Caleb's Buzzrock. That's an interesting one. But this looks pretty standard. It does play the Oricorio. That's becoming that's almost instantly become staple now that we saw it happen once.
Oricorio is really, really good.
Mm-hmm. This is playing the Parallel plus Brooklet mix. So again, it helps out your Zoro matchup. So even though you're a fighting deck, sometimes you still need to tip certain matchups even further in your favour.
Yeah, I think that does tip it as well. I think that's one big card that turns Buzzwole from maybe like 50-50 slightly favoured to like even just 5% more, which is big enough.
And he's playing 10 fighting energy. That's nice.
Never missing elixirs.
Hit more elixirs, win more games. That's the deck.
Turns out in the mirror, that's really, really, really good.
Okay. Narode played Sylveon to I think its highest placement so far in a regional. Top 8.
Sylveon, top 8. I think it's top 8. It top 8'd the region of the weekend before as well.
Oh, okay. And Offensive Hooper by Hunter Butler. This deck just, every time I try to abuse it and say that it's bad, it just keeps getting results, man. It makes me upset.
Double Guru.
This is playing one of each Guru, so really trying to grind people out and not lose to opposing people trying to stop you grinding them out. It's got Mewtwo, it's got Coco.
2N.
It's got some Ns, it's got some Acerola, it's got Gladion, Death Balls, Elixirs. At what point do we have to accept this as a real archetype? Do we have to... I mean, yes, it's a real archetype. It's probably... Actually, in our stats, it's definitely real.
One Ultra Ball. Wow!
But, like...
I know what you mean. I think...
some
I think
Garmador decks are coming back now as well.
The biggest thing is, again, it feels like people disrespected the archetype and people abused it. I think it is an archetype, but it feels like Mill. It feels like a less like Mill wins specific matchups, but it wins less specific matchups. This feels like it wins a few more matchups, but can be countered a bit easier. And I think that's kind of the mentality with it. If people aren't prepared to deal with Safeguard, then it's going to do well. But like next weekend, if there was a regional, people will have seen this top 8'd and people will add some kind of splashable non-EX attacker if they can, and this wouldn't be anywhere near as good of a deck, I think. I think it's just going to fluctuate with how things go. And as you said a minute ago with Garb winning, Garb is a fantastic attacker against Hooper because you don't need to. Well, you get around that safeguard, so your other stuff can hit them. But 2, worst case scenario, your Garbs can hit them as well, and it runs a fair amount of items, so they're gonna have to really hold back on what they play if they want to try and tank with Garbs.
I mean,
with Hoopers.
Because basically since Leipzig, I've had Mill and Hooper on my radar after having some bad beats to it a lot in day 2. But it does look like a lot of people are still just sort of letting this happen to them over and over. And I think, when you're playing Guru, 4 Hooper, Rescue Stretcher, it's not like you can just play one non-EX. Even if you play puzzles, sometimes one non-EX that can get through Hoopers isn't going to be enough because they're going to have Fury Belts as well. They're big boys. It's a lot to chomp through. So maybe it's not just one attacker. Unlike the Mill deck where you can just go announce attack, they draw and try and remove your energy, you announce attack, etc. They're actually going to deal with your answer and if
Yeah.
they deal with your answer enough times, you lost.
And eventually you've got no answers left.
Unless it's a Garb deck, and then they do lose. So Garb is the answer, maybe. And that's already seemingly on the rise.
Yeah, I think Garb is a big, big issue for the deck.
So when I saw Caleb's list, I actually thought he could be the one to go all the way, because he's playing Oricorio and he's playing the Mew as well. So I thought he had a good shot of winning. Playing just one E-switch, playing all the Brooklets. He's basically playing a really standard build. He cut an E-switch for a Mew. I think that's just about it. That's all I can really see that he made space for. And he's playing four floats as well, the Highliner floats. But that's all I really see as spaces he's made. But I don't mind that list at all. Quite like that. Again, it's just showing the amount of decks that are the very top that are, okay, this is Psychic, this, you know, one-shots everything anyway. This had 3 Psychic cards, this had 1 Psychic card. Even the Hooper deck played Mewtwo, and this again is like a heavily Psychic tech deck. So it looks like a bunch of stuff wants to have a part Psychic in their build right now. Then as we move down, Zoroark, more Vikabulu, another Sylveon, and another Hooper. So some named players playing Sylveon, not just Xander anymore. Simon Erode, Sam Chen, Pablo Mesa, all playing Sylveon. So they all had their sights on just beating lots of Zoroark. So obviously we don't.
I need to actually go through and look at all of these. Sylveon lists.
Joe Rutiger again with a pretty tasty placement with Greninja. I think he was 3rd seed after day 1, so unfortunate to not cut again. I thought he was a shoo-in. But then again, Greninja's Greninja, right? So we see Ross Cawthon with the Buzzwole Lucario version. So it's essentially taken out the Lycanroc and shoved in Lucario in its place. It's still playing the elixirs, but now you're a little less elixir reliant in theory, because you have this guy instead.
Can attack for 1 energy.
And I
Can
think
deal a good amount of damage as well.
Yeah, I think a handful of other people played this as well. Biggest downside to this is that you don't cover your weaknesses. Buzzwole and Lucario both suck to Psychic.
You fold to Psychic.
And the amount of times I've played Buzzrock in my testing, I've been like, well, I just ignore Buzzwole for now and just hope that Lycanroc takes 4 prizes. You can't really do that with this list.
No.
Even with like double Regirock. So if you go double Regirock, double Strong, no, it just doesn't work because it excludes itself, doesn't it? Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like this deck like folds too hard to Psychic. I think Lucario Lycanroc seems, in theory, to cover itself a little bit more. With also the caveat that, like you say, you don't have to rely on elixirs. Which, yes, when Buzzwole hits elixirs, it wins, but it can really lose if it misses elixirs.
Sure. 2 prizes when evolved. Tank hit 2. Yeah, I know. Like the GX stack from Lucario, you can't sleep on that. But we're just saying that we're not discrediting Lucario in any way. We're just saying that this build, it has a beautiful shell in that you can play Buzzrock, but cheaper basically for your energy cost. But you're not getting.
It feels like coverage. It feels like they're doing very similar things.
Let Play Wii, thanks so much for following.
Welcome.
So there's Pablo Sylveon. There's another Sylveon, Spencer. Here is a Lucario Lycanroc. So this is what Pram and I believe Rahul played. A little less clean, perhaps, than the list that we saw Ross Cawthon play because he's playing 3 stage 1s. Lucario in a really thick line, just a thin Lycanroc, a 2-1 line. Still sticking with 1 Buzzwole, 2 Regirocks. But you'll notice that they're not playing elixirs. Instead, they're playing scoop-ups. Scoop-ups can be some nice healing. Also, if you've not been damaged, you can still scoop up and hit again with Lucario. That's the main reason why they have it. You can also reuse your Lycanroc. That's why they play a 2-1 line. So you can have 2 Rockruffs threatening. You can pull something up, scoop up, and then next turn pull something up. Or pull something up and then next turn scoop up heads. Yeah. And 2/2 Octo. So I think this is a pretty cool line to go. 9 total energy. It's a little on the cheeky side. Definitely weak to E-Hammer if you attach one to your like Lycanroc and you can like lose. But this was literally the original list that I started testing with, pretty much.
What, 60 for 60 cards identical? Or
No. But this is Lucario,
just
Lycanroc, Octillery with Brooklet Hills was what I first started.
Yeah.
And
It does seem, like I say, this seems to cover the psychic issue, but then if you want to play Octillery, which you kind of have to get into or to have a chance in the late game, you like you say, you're running 3 stage 1s, and like we've seen in the past, 2 stage 1s can be clunk.
Yeah, and speaking of clunk as well, he's actually playing no Sycamores, so he doesn't have a chance to Sycamore away like jank Pokemon.
Yeah. Doesn't even have trade to get rid of his bad cards.
What about all the bad cards?
See, he went with the theory of just playing good cards. That's
I don't like that theory.
That's a you don't get free trades then.
And you can see as well, this is playing double Regirock, double Kukui as well. So on the turns that you don't bounce, you can still be 2-shotting, prodding. Like a prod isn't really a prod when you're playing 4-choice band, 2 Kukui, 4 strong, 2 Regirock. So similar to, I believe...
I say you can still one-shot Zoroarks with that, so...
Yeah. I know Azul was playing a 4 Regirock EX build on his stream early days, and I think Chris Szymanski played a list that was heavy Regirock and just Lucario, so we'll look at that in a bit as well.
Yeah, we'll get there.
More Buzzrocks, Buzzgarb still making a showing, more Frog Boys, Jonathan Paranada? I can't speak. Looks like his list is similar to Cortham's.
It's identical, I think, yeah.
Here's Chris Szymanski's list. Yeah, so not quite 4 Regirock, but yeah, he's just playing the 2 stage 1s, no Lycanrocks. Instead of Lycanroc, he's playing 3 Pokemon catchers. Jack, talk to me.
Pokemon Catcher is a flip card.
So Super Scoop Up.
But so is Super Scoop Up. So rather than healing, just kill more things. Just kill more stuff.
Is this literally this is literally just saying, Lucario kills Lele's. Fabulous Pokemon catcher.
I really think it is. I think he wants to take 4 prizes on Lele's with this deck, so he just needs to find 2 more prizes, and with 3 Regirock, 4 strong, and 3 Kukui, you find 2 prizes very easily.
And even with these damage buffs, you can catch a Kukui and actually kill Zoroarks without evolving that turn as well.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty gross.
However, this is all theory when you flip tails.
Draw into the next one. Flip again. What you're telling me is play a 4th catcher.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, this deck is bad until it plays 4 catcher.
Okay.
And then genius. Take out one of the Guzmas.
I found a space. He's playing 4 Floatstone. He can play 3.
That's guaranteed cards.
3 Floatstone, 4 catcher.
Now I think that I think it's just another line you can play this deck. Kukui is really, really strong with Lucario. Like I say, you can still push into one-shot ranges. Even like you evolve for the first one-shot on like a Lele or a Zoroark or whatever, and then you don't have to find anything. You can build your board on the bench whilst still Kukuiing and stronging and all of that stuff, and still push there really easily. So I think it's just another way. Like you say, it's taking prizes rather than out healing people and winning sort of that way. You're just aiming to take more prizes than your opponent.
Even more aggro. I'm surprised there's no Bridget in here though, because
Regirock.
What?
You can't Bridget out Regirocks.
No, you don't want to. You want to have Remoraid and like 3 Riolus on your board, or like.
Yeah, I guess.
I would kind of like to test, even with Brooklet Hills, because you always want to spam multiple Riolus and threaten the boys. I would want to work in a Bridget here somewhere. Maybe the Floatstone slot's a Bridget slot instead.
We're nearly done, Nico. We're nearly done.
I've got Cat Cam working right now as well.
Oh, yes.
Here we go. Okay. Rahul played similar list to, or same 60 as Pram. Ben Potter also playing Buzzcario. So there's the different schools of thought. There was Buzzcario, which is basically taking Buzz Rock and having a new face and making your elixirs, making you less win or lose based on how many elixirs you hit exactly. Then you have Lucario Lycanroc, which is a different school of thought. You're taking out elixirs and going for either scoop ups or like Shemansky's train of thought, which is literally just Lucario can KO some great stuff for 1 energy. Let's do that as much as possible.
Everything is playing either Lele or Zoroark, so let's kill Lele's and Zoroarks.
Yes, very good.
And hence, top 32.
Hence top 32. But, shucks, Psychic hurts.
Shucks. Oh, shucks. It's
Oh,
a psychic type.
shuckums. What do we do here, boys?
Oh, shucks. That's a turn 1 psychic energy to an Eevee.
Oh, shuckle. Okay.
Extend that hand.
Okay. Nice.
120, 140, 170. So with Kukui, Choice, Strong, and a Regirock, you one-shot an Espeon.
Is that all?
And they don't one-shot you back. That's jokes.
What's the best Zoro deck now? Well, Youngie, it's time.
Oh, it's like it was scripted.
That's
It's like it was scripted.
yeah. We should have played it cool though. We've overcommitted already. Okay, my cat's going crazy. Right. So, since Ultra Prism's release, there's been 14 specials and regionals that have been recorded on Limitless. Dr. Monkey Boy 9, thanks for the follow. These 7 right here have all had over 100 players in them. And these 7 are basically glorified League Cups with a bunch of points on the line. Huzzah. But from all ends of the earth, basically. So, I've been a busy little bee, and so has Jack, in getting some of this data together and looking at it. Oh, Dr. Monkey Boy is also hosting us. Cheers.
Oh, a legend.
So, let's have a quick look back at our Oceania top 10, because we're going to be making our Brazil top 10 in maybe a week or two. But we've been crunching the numbers, okay. This is our last top 10. Buzzrock out top, Zoroark, Zoropod, Volk, Vikabulu, Gardy. Garb was all paired together. That shows how long ago it was. Garb was in the murky tier 3.
Garb was in binders back then.
Yeah, crazy. Froggos, and there was the sort of the hints of Mill just because of how popular the Zoro stuff was at the top. And that was before Ultra Prism came out. There was a few cards here and there that changed things up. And now we have... I'm going to have to zoom out here, aren't I? Oh, all the stats. So, if you just look at these top 2 bits here, I've basically tallied up what decks came first, second, top 4, top 8, and top 32. I stupidly did not do tops. I didn't distinguish top 16 and top 32, which does really hurt our stats later on. But hey, we've got to have something to talk about.
But NAIC, I'm in charge of the numbers.
We'll fix that. I love how it says Hooper Walls instead of attacking Hooper. Oh yeah, because at this point it was Hooper Walls up here. This was when it was actually like wishy-washy. It was basically wishy-washy decks were the start of that. And then there was the decks in Leipzig that were the Wobbuffet Break Hooper decks. So it was more of the mill decks rather than attacking Hooper.
Yeah.
So,
the attacking Hooper thing's only just come around already.
yeah, kind of since Australia, I guess. Sort of popped up. So I've done all the top 32s. Just take my word for it that we've done it. And from there, we've got stats. So, as I said, I grouped into 2 different groups. So we have tournaments that are only 100 players and above, and then we have tournaments that have all of them put together. So, I know they're glorified League Cups, but there was lots of CP on the line, and in theory, maybe some players would travel to them that others wouldn't, even though there was only like 30 people. So that's why I made the distinction, because really you shouldn't care too much about tournaments that are like less than 50 people too much, unless the 50 people there are all insanely good players, right? So this is really the thing I'm looking at most seriously, and that's the overall results from the last 7 tournaments that had over 100 players in them. So these are all the decks that we had. Looks like there's 31 different decks that made placements in the last 7 tournaments, and all of these are the total placements for all of these things. So I guess you could also argue that a regional in America is not weighted the same as like a special in Chile or wherever it was. I can't remember. Even stuff like Prague to an extent, because sometimes like there's double the players in America than there is in the EU, than in EU tournaments and stuff like that. So there's a big jump between like a 900 player tournament and a 150 player tournament. There's already a big disparity there. But overall, I think 100 player tournament still has a decent chunk of good players that could realistically win the tournament, and effectively it means you're playing more rounds. More players means more rounds, which means the same deck has to win more times against all the other decks that it's playing against. So
in general, more rounds gives better, more consistent results. So we want to. That's why we've split between the two.
Yeah. So we did a couple of things. We did total placements, did a ranking. We did total CP, did a ranking as well. Not always the same, but basically it can tell us the difference between decks that are very good at just making cut, but won't really progress. So that's kind of interesting. We did that for the 7, and then we did it for all 14. Obviously we get, I think it's the same number of decks actually. Yeah, it's the same number of decks. So the 31 decks all actually came from the 7 tournaments rather than the 14 tournaments. So even the small-scale tournaments, they weren't just playing randomjank.com. They were playing somewhere in between all this stuff, although, these 31 decks, there's maybe 21 decks that is random jank, but we'll get onto that in a bit. I then also did a ranking for US only, because these are massive-scale tournaments, 900 players, I think over 1,000 players, and then recently 466 was Portland. So you'll notice again it's 26 decks, so we've cut out a few janky ones that were maybe in some of the European or other tournaments. So there we go. And this also shows that there's a reason to do these stats for different parameters, because it's really what you're looking to do. In this instance, we're trying to distinguish a top 10 for Brazil, but if you only care about your own region, maybe you only look at US tournaments, or if you're going to your next European tournament, maybe you look more closely at European results than you look at US results. You can weight them in a certain way as well. I've not done any weighting just yet for what I would do. I've been thinking about doing that next. And by weighting, I mean maybe you give half marks for the smaller tournaments than you would for the larger tournaments. So similar to this graph, the overall, but rather than just giving everything equal, because obviously someone winning with Buzzrock in a 32-man tournament is different from someone winning with the 900-player tournament that it was in the American regional. Maybe you give like 0.5 or 0.25 even, just to give them some reflection that they're doing better across the board, but not quite the same reflection as the bigger tournaments. So that's something that we could try out as well and keep going with. But when you're doing stats, I think it's good to look at different things. I was talking to Mace, and he was saying the best thing that you can possibly do is look at basically conversion rate, taking the percentage of a deck in day 1 and then looking at the percentage in day 2 and seeing how they compare. But it's really difficult to find those numbers, so especially for like some of the special events and stuff. There are some on Arcanine Labs, and I know that EUIC is really good at sort of publishing those results in a lovely graph. But other than that, you pretty much have to fend for yourselves. And if you're at a tournament, you can make an estimation of how popular certain decks were. But if you weren't even at those tournaments, which we weren't for basically all of them, you can't really go off of those things. You can't go off of hearsay from other people really too much. So we've had to go for placements and CP. Not the perfect way to distinguish what the best decks are, but it'll at least tell you what are the most popular decks and what decks you need to have on your radar to beat. And that's almost the same thing as having the best deck, having the deck that can compete with the decks that will be most popular. Almost the same thing. Very close to the same thing. And that's what we're going for. So I've ranked it all as well, so we'll go on to results in a sec, but just to show off, we've done the CP over here for all of these ones. And from there, we've also tried to look at trends. That's the next thing you really want to do with numbers. It's all good just having the ranking, but also trying to exploit these numbers for your own benefit is something that's going to be important. So, can you explain how weakness impacts standard in tournaments? Weakness does impact a lot. I mean, when Buzzwole first came out, it was in an era of Espeon and Drampagab, and people were saying it would be terrible. And Zoroark has basically kept Buzzwole super relevant this whole time, because it's a fighting type. So yeah. But anyway, we started looking at a few different things with these 31 decks, I think it was. Yeah. And trying to see what's doing the best, what's making the most CP, what's getting the most placements, because ultimately these can all be useful things. You'll notice that certain decks follow multiple. For example, Zoroglaceon is both a Zoroark deck and an Ability Lock deck, and of course it's a Stage 1 based deck. So some of these decks fit into multiple, which means it's not going to give you like one deck provides the most CP. That's kind of what we're trying to do with the findings of the individual decks. But what this can do is show successful trends in decks. So we've got placements here. You can see that Zoro decks had... Oh, here we go. We got like the complete thing here. Zoro decks had 62 placements, like as a whole, all the Zoro variants, earning 5,580 CP. Ability locking decks. So that's, you know, there are still some Zoroark decks which are ability lock. There's Glaceon, there's Zorogarb, and then it's like Espeon Garb, Drampagab, Gliscod Garb. Overall, they net 2,800 CP and 33 placements, so just over half than Zoro builds. Ability locking decks, one of the main ways people try and target Zoroark is by going for ability lock in its various forms, so that's something to bear in mind. Fighting decks have gained a bunch of CP, 6140 CP with 70 placements. Again, this isn't just Buzzrock and Buzzgarb, this is also Zororock, Zoro Lucario, and all that good stuff. So overall, it looks very, very good if you're going to have an element of fighting in your deck. It sounds like a good plan because Zoroark is remaining super popular. So I think right now, like the most important blend of types to be hitting is like Psychic and Fighting. Those have to be like the two most relevant types you're hitting, because either you're hitting the dark stuff for weakness or you're hitting the fighting stuff that is weak to Psychic for weakness. And those are all really important. Just random numbers to impress the stream? No, dude, this took me ages. Run 5 Psychic techs in every deck. You prefer splitting stuff into different tables? I've got the, we've got it all nice and neat on the next page, don't you worry.
I added colour.
He added colours and all. Okay. I just quickly had a look at the distribution of basic Stage 1 and Stage 2 decks, just for my own interest, really. Just because Stage 2 decks get a lot of hate, and so should they, because they only got 1,850 CP and 23 placements, so... And none of them made it to second or first, so... Basically, what it's telling you is that they fall to themselves at some point in the tournament. Especially in knockout rounds, right? You have to run nicely in top 8, run nicely in top 4, run nicely in the final. Yeah, so it's like 3 opportunities for you to like brick. That's like 9 matches for you to brick, basically. And Stage 2 decks do that more than the other two. Basic decks, 62 placements, 5/830 CP. That's, you know, your Volks, your Kiaways, Buzzrock, stuff like that. And then, oh baby, stage 1s, 11,220 CP with 126 placements. So stage 1s are good. Having Octillery as a backup's great. Having Zoroark as a backup is great. So, does Zorigari count as stage 2 deck? Yes, it counts as a stage 2 deck and a stage 1 deck. It has
Things can overlap.
both. Yeah, there's overlapping here. For example, we put Buzzrock as a basic deck and a stage 1 deck because Buzzrock oftentimes is playing Octillery and whatchamacallem, Lycanroc. Can I do stage 1s without Zoroark? I mean, we could. We can look at that in a minute. What else have we got? We had a quick look at Mill. 1,060 CP. Never, again, not making it to the finals just yet. And only a couple of... there's only a couple of Mill decks. There's the Hooper, which isn't really Mill, but you know what I mean. I sort of put it in together with Mill because it's like a fatigue deck in many ways. It gets you to a point where you can't win anymore, and that's oftentimes what Sylveon will also try and do. So, how many salty tears? Yeah, I don't have a stat for that one. That's the real metric. And at the end, we looked at Lucario as well because he's the new kid on the block. We want to see how much CP he collected basically in this weekend. And he got 620 CP, which is a good chunk. He made top 4. And he also had a few placements with different variants as well in top 32. So we saw that there's like the different schools of thought right now for the top 32. I think Shemansky's is the lone ranger of like just Lucario. I think this one was Pram and Rahul. And I think this was the... Buzzrock turned into Buzz Lucario. And I guess it makes sense that this one was the most popular because it's so easy to transition one deck to the other. So there's also that factor as well. When it's so early in a tournament or in a card's life cycle that just taking a shell that we know is good and just throwing the new guy into it makes sense. Whereas these other two lists are like less optimized, I guess you could say. Or less likely to be optimized, definitely, because you only have X amount of testing with it and stuff. So that's all important or interesting stuff. Looking at Zorodex, or stage 1s that aren't Zorodex. So if I take away all the Zorodex, we can look at placements real quick. So if we just count together, 10 placements. What am I doing? So 58 placements, 59 placements, 60 placements for non-Zoro stage 1s. Was it 60? So over half the stage 1 decks were Zoro decks that placed. So yeah. I'm not going to do the whole CP thing, because that takes too much time to do it all in front of y'all. But yeah, me and Jack, oh my god, too big. Oh, he's doing something over here. Jack, what's going on here?
More numbers. Oh, you've set me off now, Joe. More numbers.
What's that about? Tell me more.
Just where things are placing on the overall, like, so what we've got here is the...
Oh, I know. Oh, you're smart. Jack.
This is the conclusion of all of the conclusions.
Oh, you're a bloody genius.
That is me.
1060 is a salty number. Okay, so here are the things we ranked all together. So when OmniPoke makes a top 10, they don't actually make a top 10. They make about 10 top 10s. And then we thrash it out and they say one thing or the other.
I can guarantee, of all of the top 10s we have on this screen, none of them will be our top 10 list.
It might be the one that you're working on. Maybe.
It might be the one I'm working on.
Maybe. Okay.
Probably not.
So, overall, for the events that were over 100 players in them, which is probably the one you want to pay most attention to, at least the one I would pay most attention to going into an international event, because it gives you some scope for international players and what they're playing, and also they're not just small fry tournaments that are basically glorified League Cups. I think this gives you the best impression. So total placements, the tier 1 is simple. Buzzrock, Zoropod, still tier 1, still the best. Buzzgarb, pretty solidly like second. Jack's typing away, leaving some Easter eggs. Then we have like a bit of a drop after that. Like 4th down to 10th isn't huge in difference compared to like the top 2, which is clear. And even Buzzgarb sort of stands above the rest a little bit right now. So Zoro Weavile and Zoro Weavile and then Volk Kiawe. I put Volk and Kiawe decks together, even though they play very differently. I sort of put them together because it feels weird to not have Volk or Kiawe like in the top 10, because you see them often enough in tournaments, and together collectively they place a lot. I know they play a lot differently, but their strategy is still very much steam up to the point where I can one-hit KO stuff. And yeah, so I slapped those together. Just about as good as Zoro Weavile, but combined, so I downgraded it compared to Zoro Weavile, which is just one deck. Zoro Rock with 8. Sylveon and Bulu, same. They're both on 7 placements, but Sylveon went further in tournaments. So this is where you can see that we sort of use the stats from multiple to actually carve out our list if there's an equal amount. And then Zorogardi and Hooper, both with 6 placements over the last 7 big tournaments. And again, Zorogardi just edging Hooper at the moment based on higher average CP. But yeah, that's essentially what we could quite easily call our top 10. But if you want to look at it as CP rather than just placements, so it's a weird one because placements gives you a scope of how likely you are to get up in there, really. And that's a lot of the time what people want to go for. Whereas CP can really be standout players, someone on a better run than someone else. You know, individual games come a lot more into play when you're looking at CP earned than when you're looking at total placements. Because total placements is always people like within a certain bracket of wins against losses. Whereas CP, you know, there's a jump of 40 points between winning or losing the final. And you've already got a ridiculous win rate if you're in a final. So CP doesn't give you everything. You could even come up with your own point structure system if you want to. But we just went with CP because it's kind of simple and easy and makes sense to everyone. Rather than just like the OmniPoke rating scale. So the top 3 don't change. Pretty much no matter what we do, the top 3 don't change. So apart from America. So yeah. Buzzrock, followed by Zoropod very closely. Why not use a limitless point system? Yeah, we could do. Then Buzzgarb, again, like a lot lower, but then like he's clearly 3rd, right? He ain't gonna be knocked off bronze for a while, especially not by Volk Kiawe, which is interesting because you can see in terms of placements, it's in at 5th, but it jumps a little bit over Zoro Weavile. So really, I could flip-flop these because I know I combined them. But if we're going above CP, I should actually change this. Oh my god, live reaction video. Oh, not enough space.
Oh, wait a minute. What's changing, Joe? Hold on. That's changing my numbers.
Hold on. Let me finish this.
Well, Kiawe now has a 4.
We can't discriminate against Volk Kiawe because there are Volk Kiawe fanboys out there. And they'll eat me with steam ups and Phoenix burns and stuff.
So you just changed that from a 4th to a 5th. That's fine.
Yeah, just that one is the only one that changes.
Cool.
Jax. Oh, I really want this to be like, I'm ready to go when I finish talking. It probably won't be because there's too much for you to do, but...
No, I'm nearly there. I've got like 2 decks to do.
Look at him tapping away. This is all bloody legit. Where were we? Oh, yeah. Zoroark, Sylveon very close again. Espeon Guard, Bulu very close, and Zorigari down at the bottom. So you can see that the Hooper deck isn't on the top 10 for CP earn, which means it's making cut, but then finding, you know, its Achilles heels here and there in day 2 and not progressing much further. Which is a good thing, maybe? Question mark? Remember the closed parentheses. Oh, thanks. That would have been bloody embarrassing. Okay. And it shows that maybe you want to go down a different route if you're turning up to a tournament to win it all. So that's something to bear in mind. But in general, as you would expect, these reflect one another quite similarly. Because, you know, more placements is a free 70 points, whereas like the gap in placements is less than 70 points. So makes sense.
Okay, I think I'm done.
Then we jump over to the smaller tournaments being thrown into these figures. And again, Buzzrock and Zoropod, they are neck and neck. I'm so sad. Can I make the numbers a bit larger? Sure. That's pretty large. But yeah, I mean, basically what we're seeing is the impact of the smaller tournaments isn't changing a huge amount. Buzzrock, I mean, it doesn't change the top 3, which just solidifies them as very, very strong archetypes, basically. Zoroark jumps up a little bit, so it seems to be like a more casual deck, I guess. I don't want to call it a more casual deck, because that's an insult to it, but it picked up a lot of points in the sort of smaller tournaments, as did Vikabulu. This is one that I want to pick up on because it's a stage 2 deck, and basically it's making it into the top 8 placement a lot more often in the smaller tournaments, and that's because you play a lot less rounds. So you have less chances to brick. So hooray. So Vikabulu's 5th here, whereas it's 8th over here. So when you go into larger tournaments with more rounds, you have more opportunities to brick and lose games. So I would still always say that you shouldn't take Bulu Nene to big tournaments, even though it came 2nd or top 4 this weekend. It's a tasty hot streak that can happen to some people, but overall, not fantastic. I think Vikabulu is solidly like in the top 10. You'll expect to see it at tournaments, but it's rare for it to go like above top 8, I would say, in tournaments, unless it's a very good cut for it. And even then it can lose games just because it's, you know, missed its one Grobbin off on Lily to 4 because you're not playing Cynthia, or you're not playing Bridget because you're dumb. Whatever.
He's so mad.
Just doesn't make. Look at it. We've just
anyway, Joe, we're not on the point here.
We've done 2 pages of numbers, Jack. If anyone did 3 seconds of numbers with Kikabulu, they'd know to play Bridget in their list. Anyway. Okay. Where does Greninja stand? Not in the top 10. Not in the top 10. It's 9th in the US with 3 placements, but it's like a joint 12th. But it just squeaks out the others on CP. So US like Greninja more than anyone else, it seems. But it looks to be in the depths of despair at the moment, even with some standout players like Joe Rutiger with his high placement, and John Eng as well, continuing to play that deck forever. So there are still the Greninja fanboys that love turning up to tournaments just because they love adrenaline rushes. But yeah. Yeah, not too much difference with these. Again, you actually see Espeon Garb sneak in here just because of how far it went in the last 2 tournaments, basically. That's really pulled it up, because overall on the placement side it's had very few. I think it's only like 4 or something. Let's find it. 6 total placements. That's really low. And you can see it's nowhere near the so what's oh yeah, it is near, I guess. So 10th was 7 placements, and this had only 6, but it went further in tournaments, so it jumps up into 10th place here, which makes sense. All the Granger players are 15 years old. And, oh dear. Okay. So yeah, for those US viewers or people who want to look at only the biggest tournaments, maybe these are the results that you're looking for. They don't change too much. Buzzrock a little bit further out of Zoropod this time. And Buzzgarb is actually way down, way below Zororock, so it can show popularity. With Zororock in America. Definitely compared to Europe, I think. A lot of the time, if you see people playing Zoroark, it's Zoropod in Europe. A lot of the time. A lot more often than Zororock, at least. And Zororock became more popular in America because Pram won with it, and that's understandable. Sylveon and Hooper join together, so take your pick of Mill / Stall / Yawn deck. Sylveon winning on
Fun and interactive deck.
CP. Espeon Garb really doing well in the US. Pretty much all its placements are from the US, so 5 of its 6 placements were US based. Buzzgarb as well. Obviously, there was that weekend where it came second, and it's had a little bit of popularity since then. Bulu as well. 5 placements, all losing out on CP-wise to Espeon and Buzzgarb, though. Froggos, Zorogardi. That's Kyle Sablehouse keeping the ship afloat, really, for that deck. In the last couple of regionals. Zorogarb, my boy! Oh, not quite in top 10. So sad. Even though it's like 11th, 12th, these are joint 12th, because even their CP is the same. But Zorogarb... Wait, I think their CP is the same. I think it was. Otherwise, I would have done this thing. Zorogarb and Zoro counters, all with 3 placements. I think they're all just top 32s and no further. Like I said, I didn't do difference between top 16 and top 32, and I think actually Zoro counters would be higher, because I'm pretty sure that Zoro counters was higher up the charts than Zorogarb, but I'm a believer. It's my rogue deck. It can beat these 2, so that's cool. And it can beat that. Well, everything can beat that, but everything Zoroark can beat that, but sure. It's got psychic stuff, so it follows the right lines where you have psychic stuff and you don't lose to Mill either, or you don't lose to attacking Hooper, that's for sure. You don't lose to Sylveon all the time. Sylveon's still a hard matchup, but I've beaten it, and that's because they have to be super careful around Trash Launch. So Zorogarb, potentially the play. Don't put it 11th, Jack. It's 12-12. 11th. You madman. It's 12-12.
No, it works like this, right? Pretty sure it works like this. 11th, 11th, 13th.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, it does well
anyway,
like that. It does well like that.
They're the same. They're the same.
Yeah, they're all the same. Yeah, I just had to squeeze on Zorogarb just for my own satisfaction. Unfortunately, it doesn't show up on the CP end. Whoops. I'm working on it. Yeah, Deadly V. This is actually something exactly me and Jack were saying.
Mm-hmm.
That is a sentence that me and Jack were saying to each other. I think
that whole sentence. Joe said the Zorogarb part, I said the Zorogardi part, and we were like, oh wait, we know exactly what we'd play.
So,
well, I know what I'd play, but I was going Latam.
Testing for Latam. For me, it's those 2 decks that I'm testing a lot. I think they seem safe. I think I also want to try some Lucario stuff, because that was impressive this weekend and can still be ironed out. So
you've got time.
That's all good. At the bottom, what we got here, Jack? Oh my god, he's done even more things. Can't
even more things. You shouldn't leave me with a spreadsheet. I'll make tables that are unnecessary.
So, it's better to be a stage 1 deck. Unreal.
That's got nearly double the amount of points as just fighting decks, which is incredible. Obviously, there's overlap with everything, but in general, stage ones are dominating this format right now.
Mm-hmm. Your method was much different, Yoongi. Well, got to the same outcome. That's pretty cool.
I'd be interested to hear your method just because more
One of my caveats would be that it would be Zorogadi with 2 Gallades.
I think, yeah, I mean, I watched Zorogadi this weekend, and the deck is like bonkers.
No spreadsheets. Fair enough. Don't believe it. No one needs to do spreadsheets because we'll do it for them. It's fine.
That's inaccurate data then. Sorry.
What have you done?
Me? What? Nothing.
What's inaccurate? Oh, no spreadsheets?
The non-spreadsheet data.
Oh,
How can that be right? That's guesswork. No, Zorogadi does seem very good. Your spreadsheets, excellent.
There you go. Even though this isn't even Excel, it's Google Doc.
It's fine. It's a knockoff.
Anyway, it's also good to be fighting decks, so no surprise really there. We know that the highest performing deck is Buzzrock, and the second highest performing deck in almost every category is Buzzgarb, so no surprise that the fighting stuff is good. Google enter. And then basic decks or just straight up Zoro decks. So Zoro decks, it's most good to be a fighting Zoro deck, but it's also good to be a Zoro deck. So that's cool. But it looks like it's most good to be a fighting Zoro deck. Interesting. Even though, well, I don't know. Overlaps and I can't be bothered anymore. Jack, do you want to talk about your thing that you got working on over here? Oh my god, he's done a thing.
So the last part of all of this was I just went through all 6 of the top 10s, worked out what placed where the most, and again, even under this algorithm, Buzzrock was first, Zoropod was second, Buzzguard was third with 4 third places and 2 seventh places, and then it kind of gets a bit more janky because you're testing a lot of different parameters and stuff. But in general, the most notable thing is
Jackson the Sudoku.
In general, I've just been making a Sudoku. No, in general, Buzzrock and Zoropod are by far the best 2 decks to be playing. And therefore the best 2 decks to be countering / beating / testing against, because theoretically they are the best 2 picks for tournaments right now. Buzzrock with 6 first places is insane. Like, they're convincing first places as well. There's a 16 to 12. There's a 1,500 to 1,000 alone. It's convincing, some of the things, especially in the US. Overall, looking at in general, Buzzrock and Zoropod are very, very close to one another. But Buzzwole does squeak ahead for the majority of it. But yeah, we've known this for a little while, and under every single algorithm me and Joe have thought of, Buzzrock and Zoropod are indeed the 2 best decks in format.
I've tried to make Zoropod in any way possible the best deck, but he just can't do it.
Box.
Got to change the numbers around. Unlucky.
Need to do a box where you aren't weak to psychic. That one. There we go. That's correct data. There's so much more I want to do with this, but I don't have time now, or I don't have the resources now. But there's, especially for, like, if we're going to be doing this for NA. There's going to be it's going to be even more in depth for NA, hopefully. This should hopefully begin to be a trend for each of at least the internets. As of now we've done this once. Or now we've done it in depth this once. We've always kind of done something similar, but we've never gone this in depth.
We've never shared it this in depth.
This in depth.
Need to account for international wins. Doomsday Internats wins. This was all before Ultra Prism. That's the reason why we've done the cutoffs as we did. If you want to go further back and just look at like deck power, I guess you can do that.
So I think Ultra Prism was a big enough meta shakeup to change. Was it? Looking at those decks, there's exactly 3 decks that are new.
I mean, if we compare our this top 10 here compared
To the
to
previous.
the previous top 10. It's how different is it?
Probably not that different.
Buzzgarb jumps in. Zoro Weavile jumps in. Sylveon looks better. Buddha looks worse. Zorogadi jumps in as well to fight. So some stuff fell out, like Greninja.
In general, the only new deck though is Zoro Weavile,
Uh-huh.
which means you probably could look at.
But at the same time, there's a lot of
Attack.
there's been a lot of like swapping about. Like Zoropod now has the chance to play Guru for Mill.
Yeah.
Didn't
Yeah,
before.
definitely.
Buzzgarb wasn't always playing Carbink, or doesn't always have to play Carbink, or in
Just done a nice Sudoku. I'm so mad.
Espegarb looks a lot better. You think? Not sure about that. There's still a lot of
I'm gonna say the big thing for the Oceania one was we had Garb as a chunk. So Espeon Garb, Buzzgarb, Drampagarb were all one slide. Now you have to split up Buzzgarb and Espeon Garb because the decks are so different, and the decks, I guess, arguably have performed themselves enough to be split up differently. Whether you then consider putting Espeon Garb and Buzzgarb in the top 10 is a different question, but you can't have Garbodor variants anymore because it's just different. Can Zoropod beat Lucario? It's it's sketchy.
Can Zoropod beat what?
Lucario.
Yeah. Zoropod can beat everything.
I mean, Zoropod can beat everything.
That's just a fact.
Oh, these headphones I'm using are so painful. I need to.
So this may not be the top 10 that you see in our top 10 video, so definitely watch our top 10 video. But today was a good insight into
What might be happening.
how we actually come up with it. And that
It's not. We promise it's not just.
it's not what
random.
we... Yeah, I mean, I've had to talk about Vikabulu way more times than I'd like to. Trust me.
Our statistical top 10. I love that you've noted statistical because I will put money on this not being our top 10.
I
I mean, more than anything because Lucario isn't in there.
Yeah, exactly. We may have to do some cheeky cheating. Turn like...
Well, the big thing is, and this is something I want to look at in the future, is, like someone said, actually waiting tournaments, because there's been one tournament with Lucario legal and 13 without Lucario legal.
Well, that's some of the some of the weaknesses of this is that there's
of the current system.
There's no weighting to the size of some tournaments against others. We just did an arbitrary cutoff. There's also weighting of recency, which is also potentially important as well. So that's what we can also think about.
As Mark says, though, there are basically 3 decks.
Yeah. If we want to be cheeky and push Zoro Rock higher up, we could put Zoro Fighting as an archetype and just lump in the Lucario results and push him slightly above Weavile.
This is where me and Joe start getting very, very creative with the number 10.
Yes.
Because if you go back and look at some of our top 10s, they're easily top 13s,
Jack,
top 14s.
Don't do that. Don't say those things.
It's because there's a lot of good decks.
Jack, what if we were to put Sylveon and Hooper together and just call them the boring decks?
Genius, that is.
That's how we fit a deck in there.
Our statistical top 9, everyone. I think that's what did I say to you earlier on, Joe?
What?
There's a deck that I was like, right, okay, so we're doing a top 9 instead of a top 10 then. Oh, what deck was it? I'm going to go back and find the message.
It was probably me slagging off some deck of some description. But anyway, after that mathsy nonsense, it's clear that there are 3 very good decks.
Are you going to play any of them now?
Hell no.
Hey, that's the Joe we know and love.
I'm going to play some Pokemon catchers instead.
Oh, yes.
Let's look at Shemansky's list again.
Be right back. No deck. Oh yes, attacking Hooper.
Did I slag off attacking Hooper?
No, I did.
Jack, can you not speak down of a deck?
Said we might have attacking Hooper in the list. I said, so can we have a top 9?
Oh, yes.
I didn't slag it off. I just. Meme decks aren't one of the top 10.
Would I ever consider Sylveon? Maybe.
Considered it for a little while.
Maybe.
In Leipzig. Then you wanted to draw some cards.
I mean, I'm a Zoro fanboy, so it's hard to push me off Zoro at this point, really.
Zoroark Sylveon. Here we go. Here we go.
Speaking my language.
That sounds like a deck. Right. So now we've got a top 10. Let's ignore it and make some slides with different decks.
This feels like a deck that can lose if someone starts hard Bridget. You're just like, oh, you lucky thing.
Well done. You never have to play a Lele in your game. What have I done there? Get out of here.
Should we play some Mega Catchers? I'm going to play 4 Pokemon Catchers and 3 Floatstones.
Just so you can say you haven't net decked the list.
Yes.
Genius.
More coin flips means more wins.
I need a second Pokemon to go with Hooper. Oranguru.
Ugh. Just put a Fury Belt.
Oranguru.
Oh.
Your boy's been turned to the dark side. He's in Mill decks now.
Oh, I also want to play a Bridget.
Magical ribbon for the 3 worst cards so you can trade them all away. It's genius. That is genius. I played an Oranguru in my Zoro Lucario list this weekend, and I was saying to Joe, I literally enjoyed drawing it because it was a free trade because the card was completely useless. I was like, oh, this card says draw 2 cards. Let's go. That's one less decision I've got to make on my turn. But if people have Bridget, you should be able to happily normally play. If people play Bridget, they get Zeroas.
Maybe.
Zeroas is a good answer. If they hard Bridget for Trubbish, Eevee, then we're in a very, very different situation.
What do we make of Blaine?
Explosive.
Maybe an expanded good card. That's what I think.
Maybe.
You can draw 18 cards and expanded with it.
You can. That's a lot of cards. That's like 9 trades.
Nice deck out. Enter one. How about a deck out, son? How'd you like that?
Oh, I dream of Gizmo. Doesn't matter if I use my supporter, I've lost.
I mean, we're not worried about anything dying, so we just grab this. It does open up attachment Guzma. But if he's doing that, he's already got to have, like, Candy, Vikavolt, and other stuff. Bulu! No, guys, we don't concede to Bulu. Don't be silly. We check if they brick first.
That's a Pokemon catcher right there.
We're ready.
We'd get flipping some coinage.
Oh, looks like he doesn't have much, or he's just sycamoring. Could be Lilying. Lily. Here's Lily. Did you get one of your other Grubbins or Nest Ball? Not Ultra Ball. Fair cop. But they didn't go for a Grubbin.
That's embarrassing.
Well, that's one way to play this game, isn't it? Oh, interesting. You, yeah. That's interesting. Maybe if you played Bridget.
I hope Joe whiffs Lucario.
They got so unlucky, guys. They lilied for 6. And they didn't hit a Nest Ball. So unlucky. Feel bad for him. Let me stop you there. No.
Stop right there. Stop talking.
Uh-oh, they have purple sleeves. We're about to get messed up. Fun time.
This is going to be one happy little accident. Oh no, you've started Reggie as well.
That's good.
Got a float at least.
Don't end us, boyo. Just do a turn 1 Lily, because that's the cool hip thing that people do these days. Team purple sleeves. Yeah, if he played better, you're right, Deadly B. He should have Ultra Ball to Grubbin. Time to power up those Reggies. The thing is, we don't play maximum elixirs, so we actually can't power up our Reggies. We have to go Buzzwole hit to set up a Lucario hit. That's what we got to do. And we have to not play too many items in the process.
Oh boy. Alex has booked Worlds.
Oh boy.
I'm booking Worlds tonight. Time to start charging up the Reggies. Bedrock pressing for days.
Does that ever make sense? Setting up the Lele means we don't need choice band later on, but it's so easy for us to deal with Leles. I guess we just put it on any of the Trubbishes.
Book World, then pick up those Taylor Swift tickets.
What do I think about the booty list that played Order Pad? Is that a real thing? Is this real life?
I think that was one.
There's just not enough disappointment in the world. Ah, not the field blower. Strike. This is quickly going to get out of hand, though. Randy's manager is now following. Thanks so much.
Randy's manager.
Four puzzle, four order pad. That is pretty high roller. Gotta say.
Sushi.
That's a lot of spaces that could be good cards, for example.
You order power to get what you want to the top of the deck. You single puzzle.
We're in danger, boys. Oh, no. We're in so much danger right now. We can't even detect. Run away? Sure. Oh no. Aberbe, how's it going? Paul Carter, how's it going? Order pad for order pad. Well, we'll take that. We did nothing! Why would they end us when we did nothing? They did nothing! And we're dead because of it. That's just excellent news, isn't it?
Mm.
That fourth catcher's doing great. You stay right where you are, catcher.
You're not getting removed, ever. Just Kukui. Just Kukui into it.
Kukui into Floatstone, Lucario Energy.
Well, you hit one of them. That's not three, though.
Have we done the theory? We have. We've done the theory. Statistically, you should be playing Buzzrock or Zoropod. What a great deck. I mean, I for one couldn't think of a much harder matchup for this deck in this deck's defense. But we need to somehow get a crushing hammer off of this 7 that we don't play. Didn't hit it. Unreal. I mean, we could try and detect 23 times. Nah. We'll let him have this one. Just this once. Let's try again. Oh, chat wanted to see it. Sean, how's it going, dude? Playing a deck that's weak to Psychic. After Espeon Garb just won a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a good leader for going first? Not really. First and second, you're right, you're right. Thanks for correcting me. The first thing we see is a Psychic Pokemon. Intriguing. Now, if we think we're against Persimmon, we should get a Riolu here. I'm pretty sure nothing else can one-hit the Riolu. If the Mew does hit us, though, we still have the chance that the Buzzwole can get a strong energy and respond on it. So, I guess we just do this. P.S. If it's Persimmon, we die every time. We could also Kukui Fighting Energy if we draw a Fighting Energy. You'll always believe in it. Chill. I don't believe in it because I played it at Worlds and it did me dirty.
It hurt my feelings.
It really did. In a big way.
In a big way. James, are you here? How do I flip this picture?
Is Espeon Garb back? Or was Portland just a fluke? I don't think it's a fluke that it did as well as it did, but I don't think it's the only deck that you could play. I don't think it's like jumps into Bediff position. How likely? Okay. Pow. That changes everything.
I just want to flip this. Corrections.
They see me flipping some coins.
Oh, Joe.
You really want to see conversion rates? I would check Arcanine Labs. That's your best place to try and find those sorts of things. Worlds was a really bad time for it. You don't blame me. Well, in the ARG just before Worlds, it won, and that's why I went for it. But I'm a fool. Dropping soon on SoundCloud. Catcher in 2018. That's right, Slick Hippo. That's right. Oh, stop hitting my Octillery Master. We play so many choice bands for a deck that doesn't play Field Blower, or rarely plays Field Blower. We need to build another Swoosh. That's a lot of tools on our board. So we still have one Kukui that we could draw into. We have catchers that we may want to play. Strategy is still fine here. Okay. That's actually a pretty good draw. Pretty sure this Regirock is not going to be relevant to us. It'll be relevant if we have both, but that's later down the line because one's prized. I guess we don't bin it because it's just kind of rude to bin it.
Rude.
Let's not be rude. Let's not disrespect him. So we probably need to do some E-switch shenanigans with a Lycanroc, or do some Elixir shenanigans with a Buzzwole this turn. We're probably going to go in with our Buzzwole next and pepper up the Rockruff and the Buzzwole, if it's still a Rockruff. Like my Pokemons? Great. Aliu, thanks so much for following. That's awesome. Not doing well day one, yeah. Not good enough for the game. Let's see if he hits some elixirs plus E-switches. If not, he's really in a bad spot. Playing Brookler Hill after feels bad, man. Well, he's got the 90. Three prize turn, looking pretty tasty. Can't really risk an N because we could miss Energize. Don't want to evolve this turn because I want to be doing Buzzwole stuff. I want to keep my space open for the second Regirock so I can hit 190. 20, 150, 60, 170, 180, 190. So I have to bench this. Really don't want to Sycamore away our second Lucario because I think we might need two to win this game. So we got to gamble a little with a Cynthia. That's a pretty good hand. I think I still have to poke this because I can't let this get out of control. He still has his GX available. And we're hoping that when he takes another prize, we'll have accessed Regirock from our prizes and we can take our last 2 here. So we're going to go 2 prizes here and here. Best case scenario. But if he wants to go down this line, we can still hit this one. Ultra Ball now thins some pretty bad cards. But we kind of still want that for if he's going to N us. So we'll just do this. You can go down to 1 prize. We don't have access to N right away, but we could opt here for a decent chunk of cards.
I've always wondered, why is it a Spinder when there's a new follower? Well, there's like a set we can look at. I think there's like 5 different Pokemon. And I think we've used all 5 different Pokemon for different things. Spinder happens to be our follower one.
Yeah.
Mega Guardi is our hosting one because we're evolving. We're going from less viewers to more viewers.
True.
And that was all the thought that went into it.
Pretty much.
I think the donation one is Haunter because it surprises us. That's about it.
I can't remember. What's the running Pikachu one for? I can't remember. That's for one of them.
Subscribers, which we can't currently do.
Oh, yeah. Or is that Pikachu rubbing its face? I can't remember.
So there's definitely a Pikachu one, yeah. I can't remember what it does. What it's doing though.
Yeah. Well, looks like we lost, huh?
And that.
That's the main reason. That's the real reason. He's figured us out. That's what he's done.
The amount of chump streamers that have subscribe buttons and you don't is unreal. Well, I'm hoping after stream I'm going to be able to have 30 minutes of Joe's time.
Can't do it, I'm afraid, mate.
Oh, we've had it. See you on Wednesday with no sub button. With something new for OmniPoke. No sub button.
Here's something you've not seen before. No sub button. We are dead. He's played 0 Gizmos, just so you know. We've still got 3 catches remaining though. Maybe we should go back down in catches. Maybe.
I mean, would a floatstone help you here?
No, but I'm just saying that's a slot.
I mean, yeah, that's not a correct way of looking at it. But I'm just saying, like,
well, that's a shame.
For some reason, I don't know why, the 4 catches didn't work out.
I don't understand. I'm playing as many as possible. really lacking on energy cards. I might just go up to a 10th energy.
Seems good.
It's the reason I'm always digging for everything I need, always. Fourth Lucario is also a consideration. Let's just try a 10th energy for now. We could also think about an Oricorio. Let me try one of these, actually. I'll stick with 10 energy, because that's better for Oricorio. Maybe we just play 2 catches. Oricorio is similar to Buzzwole in that he can set up Lucario numbers. Or mop up after Lucario's done some stuff. Let's try that. Yeah, we looked over results maybe an hour or so ago, hour and a half ago. Definitely a lot to digest. Cheers, Deadly B. Hope you enjoyed. See you Wednesday, hopefully.
Cheers for joining us.
Man, we always have Guzma and Catcher in the same hand. It's so weird. We've gone down to 2 of these.
Still too many.
Still too many. Luigi, you do raise a good point. Soon I'll have no catchers in my Lucario catcher deck. Maybe. Why catcher? We're basically looking at Shemansky's list from the weekend. I think the mentality is that Lucario is amazing at knocking out Lele's and Zoroarks, so you just try and do that as much as possible to win races. So far we've faced 2 decks where we have to deal with the active Pokemon every time or we lose, so the catchers look a little silly. But if you're against a Zoroark deck, they'll be throwing stuff in the active that isn't Zoroarks. So you just gotta bring them in and pop them. Cheers, Heavy Tortoise. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah, the stream will be up on YouTube as normal.
Gonna catch it even though it's easier for him to move the Carbink, because he would probably rather have a Floatstone on a Trubbish. Moses, thanks so much for the follow.
Cheers. Welcome to the team.
That's a nice couple draws, huh? What are you gonna do now, boy? Oh dear. Okay. I don't think it's worth concealing the Oricorio because we have Super Rod anyway, and if he's going to ignore a 1 energy Riolu, I value it pretty much the same. This way we basically force him to have 2 float stones, otherwise we can benefit from Sushi Master. 3 card hand, what's he thinking about? Probably thinking about what he Guzmas. That's my guess. what he was thinking about.
Aha.
Now he's thinking about whether or not to GX attack. Is the Zoro Valley dream forever dead? Probably. I mean, it's not just that, it's that Zoro decks are also really bad for you because they play hammers, and hammers suck for that deck to deal with. Try our best. See some more cards. That's one of the good cards. Also could have been debatably worth holding for the Oricorio. Actually, definitely debatable. But the fact that he's used Knuckle Impact means this Lucario is sticking around anyway. Yeah, quickly you're ahead, I'd say. Little sis, that's fine. That's just trolling. If you're gonna dish it out, you gotta take it. I mean, you can play for fun, but I'm playing this. You know I'm terrible on stream. I don't care who knows it. This is a really curious line. I'm surprised it didn't go for a Carbink. This looks really detrimental. Buzzwole also not known for playing many blowers, sometimes one, so I'm happy to commit it. I think Aura Strike and Cantankerous are so close that we just go for the... Either way, we're setting the Buzzwole for a 2-hit. Play deck with 0 results. Maybe my interview Ross crossed too many wires. Joe loses, I have to open a pack. We can do that. Leafeon Mega Ordino with Winona. It's full meme, but fun nonetheless. Leafeon is one of my favourite cards of all time. That Plasma Leafeon, one of my favourite cards of all time. I've played that in way too many of my decks. I don't think it's great in Expanded though, like at the moment. Not many decks play a lot of energy. Zoroark just needs 2. And that's where you gotta play a bunch. So... Mega Ordino though. Oh, the spice. What standard deck do you build with 30 packs? Tricky. It's gonna be hard to build with 30 packs. That's basically like one Lele. Oh, Leafeon GX Ordino. Oh, that's interesting actually. Huh. Really weak to E-Hammer. I forgot about Leafeon with Mega Synergy. That's pretty cool though. You have Leles and Trainers? For 30 packs, you can build quite a lot, I would say. It's up to you, really. You can definitely build attacking Hooper. Something like that. Okay, we want to hit a strong energy. That would be great. So we don't play Field Blower, so we just dump Lele. And we can also dump the Buzzwole, I think. We're beyond the point of that being useful. Are we? Well, no, that's 30 away from being dead, so that's not true. Are we beyond the point of this being useful, though? We do still have another Super Rod. I'd still prefer just to have highest chances. No strong energy, no energy of any kind, actually, which is really bad for us. Sad face emoji. We can pop him out like it's hot, though. And continue our quest for hitting stuff loads. Do I think attacking Hooper will last, or do I think it was just a good meta call? I think it's more likely that it was in a... I don't think it was even a great meta call, because Garbodor was back on the rise, but it worked. And I think it's... I mean, there's so many less, or like lower risk decks that you could be playing than attacking Hooper. Attacking Hooper is literally going to a tournament and being like, well, what are my matchups today? And that literally dictates your day. I mean, you can say that for a lot of decks, but instead of having 60-40s, you have 90-10s. So.
And they, if you've seen us do maths today, you'll know they're harder to win.
Still done nothing. They've done nothing. Not one little thing. I know this still has an energy on it, and it's more of a like quote-unquote threat, but it's so heavily damaged that we don't care. Mega Ordino Leafeon. That sounds so cheeky. So you can get a Leafeon out, and you can Hooper for all the Ordinos, so you don't need to bridge it or Fang Club. So realistically, it's actually fairly likely that you could get the turn 1 Bloom off. But if you're going first, it still sucks for you because you're so far behind already. Even though we had catches we could burn, I'm pretty okay with this. Give him the old boot in the head. Look, guys, we found a deck worse than ours. Savor the moment.
Remember this day.
Oh, turn 1 Hex. Yeah, that's true. Oh, and Rip Hooper and Shamans and everything. Okay, this sounds really bad. foiled again. I have game on board. I guess if he finds a Fury Belt, he doesn't have game on board. Or I don't have game on board. Quicker this way than just clicking loads of a supernatural dance. So. And we do more damage with our boy. Unreal. Well, that was a deck that did nothing for 3 turns. Let's get one more game in. Maybe there's time for more. This seems to have quick games. Wins quick, loses quick. Fun. Never tie.
Never tie on PTCGO.
Oh, I was meant to play a friend. Oh, damn it. Beetle.
2 more games, boys.
My bad, my bad. If they're still here, play after this game.
Oh, this PowerPoint, Joe.
Is it glorious?
It is glorious. Looks so good. I've made slides for every single one of the decks, even though we're deleting 7 of them.
What's our out to you? Don't have one. That's our answer. Kill everything and then supernatural dance it. Genius. Easy game. Game's bloody easy when you think about it. Right. Choose 2 of your bench Pokemon to keep. Okay. I would like to
Nailed it.
keep Riolu. I would like to keep Remoraid. Haha. You'll fool me once. You won't fool me twice. PTCGO.
Definitely fooled you about 3 times. Let's not lie to the people, Joe.
Hit with Riolu for 11 turns. Well, they went for the GX off the bat. That's good news. Because the GX isn't the non-GX.
Quality content.
I'm 3 steps ahead. I'm 3 steps ahead. Oh dear. Probably kill this, huh? We have catchers, we can get rid of a Guzma. We do have jabs with strong energies and Kukuis, in fairness. That's something we actually do have. I'll put the choice band here because with strong energy it makes Lele numbers. Whereas on this we still need to have a strong energy anyway, so. Non-GX equals non-GX. Yes. More Vulpix. Flare Grunt, huh? So that's the way you want to play. Dearie me. Okay. We still have all of our float stones. Yeah, that's what I wanted to happen. Oh dear. We can make an Excel doc out of this. Save it for next week. Do I think it's better than Lucario Garb? This doesn't look great right now. Unimpressed is my first impression. Red Vicus is now following. Thank you. Lucario Garb didn't even show up in America though. No one even took a risk. I think I want to capture this. If we can hit it with Buzzwole. It's only 50 though. 50 isn't 60. More top-notch analysis from me. So maybe, yeah, it's still better. It's still better. Because I want to do the 30 poke here. Or I just want to pass my turn. That's also perfect. Back to full floatstone, lads? What do you reckon? Replace catches with missing clovers. 3 missing clovers. How valuable is this hand? Not really that valuable. Let's dump it. Stick to the mentality that hitting this artillery is probably the most correct thing we can do right now. Attaching energy here makes him bring out the non-GX. And that's bad for us. Attaching here does that less so. Attaching here makes him always use the GX to finish us. But spending this isn't necessarily that bad, because then he has to do this. We then follow it up with a Lucario pretty easily. As long as we hit strong. Doesn't make sense to recommit it here. I guess we just spread. don't want to Super Rod just yet. Catches with keep ups, that ain't bad. One less terrible card. Broken. Bruh. There it is. The thorn in our balls.
Mm.
No, sis. Okay. This looks not great. I'll be honest. Oh, come on. We needed that. Bloody needed that card. Don't believe it. Oh,
Mm.
Gotta get some Pokemon in the bin so our Lucario does stuff. And we also need to draw into Kukuis so that our jabs and dances actually do something meaningful.
How do I sort on here? No.
How many choice ones have gone? Just two? Okay. $120, $130, $40, $150, $160. That ain't right. One choice band left. Oh, wait. Wait. Am I dumb? One Regirock, right. 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170 ain't enough. Okay. This has to be choice band. We can deck out if we do it this way. But we draw the most cards to hit it. Have to be careful of decking out, because he could leave us with alone one of these and it will take us a lot of turns. Let's not deck out. Sweet. Had handiwork in the mulligan? Holy. We've been mugged off. Oh, Super Rod is so bad. We want to dance. Let's dance the dance of danceness. Don't Guzma Rioli. Okay, good. Well, they didn't Brooklet Beetle for a game loss. It's pretty smart of them. Depending on what energy we get, we'll decide what we do. Looks like we're jabbing. Rocking the old jab. Pretty sure we lose almost always here. Especially after the Super Rod.
Right, what's going on here then? I've left to do things and I've come back and I'm hearing the word jab a lot.
Jab.
Jabby, jabby, jab, jab, jab. Oh, Jack, is Joe using Discord or Skype? We're using Skype at the moment because he was breaking up for me on Discord. I think I know why, but we haven't had the chance to check it yet. We were using Discord before, though, don't worry.
Still don't know how I win the game. It's 1-0 in Malmo. That is really crazy. Do the same amount of damage. Well played. Damn. Turn away from our last jab. Pow.
The one jab to rule them all.
Okay, where's little sis at? We'll have one more game because we said we would. This deck is terrible though. Challenge me whenever. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Oh, it would have been a pretty nice hand. No, I don't. Oh, boy. Okay. Hopefully catchers get us there. God.
Interesting. For the top 10 video, Joe,
Yes.
am I basing placements off of events including under 100 players or excluding under 100 players?
Excluding.
Excellent news. Good. That means I haven't been wasting my time. And that's always a positive.
Yeah. That is good. That's what we look for, really.
It is ideal.
I don't really want my Rioli to be trapped. I'll attach here and leave the option open for next turn. How's that sound? Sounds good to me. Some events with 100 plus players are also anomalies. That's not wrong. Oh, dearie me.
$31.
I guess we could capture a Froakie and deal with it with Regirock. I guess they're the only threat to us. Okay. We can draw some cards with Octillery. They probably are playing blowers though. How important are the choice bands for us? Not hugely important when we play so many. Is the Regirock good enough for us? Probably not, I would say. You can also get stuck. So we'll just draw the cheeky 1 card. And we'll put pressure on him to hit a candy. Booty cast, I can catch her. Cheers, Bully cast. Well, they have candy. So that pressure we tried. Not a good idea.
Jack feels good, man.
Things are happening. Cards are being drawn. At pace.
Stop.
Do they have the means to stitch, is the question. No, they gotta run and hide. Run away! And if that's the case... Oh my. Problems. I'm evolving now, and attaching again. And I think we're content to just draw 1 card. I mean, realistically, we could Ultra Ball Lele Guzma this. It's still the only threat on his board. And I like being a realist, because this way we take 5 prizes with our 1 Lucario, and that sounds smart. Oh no, we've played Lele. Okay, we can't do those things. Sadness. We could end into a catcher, though. Keeping this slot open for, like, strong energy Regirock stuff is good, though. Okay, let's just take a chill pill. Damage on the frogs isn't irrelevant because they become breaks. Now we can kill it. It's all relevant damage, it's just where I prioritized. Stitched out of the game. Could have played Floatstone active that turn, but like I said, I wanted to keep the space open for this stuff, and also they play Field Blowers because they're a Zorro Froggo deck. If they're not playing Field Blowers, they're doing something wild. They got themselves the Stitch. They have to Stitch because we have Artillery. And they do. The brick. The thing is, they do play Guzmas in this list. 150. Scary times. Attaching active makes him hit active. So we'll do that. Yeah, I'll pop, you're not wrong. Die, die, die. I hear those words and I think, yes, that has to be the correct decision.
Prize, prize, prize.
So they're probably mellowing into more Candy Froggo. Yeah. Do they have Shoulda Ken? Yes, they do. Man like Ken. That's an interesting ping. Huh. So if I'm to Knuckle Impact here, he can... No, I need to attack with this.
Whoops. Breaking things.
I think it makes sense to spend our GX attack. So we take one more hard prize, then we take an easy prize. It's just how much he can cash in with this one Greninja. If he wants to take the KO on the active, he has to break Stitch Lock as well. So there's a lot of good stuff for us here. They do have puzzles though. Puzzles pre-trade. Alternatively, they could Shuriken and go for like a Riotous Beating play, but they need to finish. They need to fill their bench more. But that also breaks the lock and gives us 2 prizes. Rasen, Shuriken. Okay, so he's letting Lucario chill. Basically makes me commit another energy to it next turn. I guess in theory he could Stitching plus N. Maybe that's his line. Or their line. Stitch plus N is always a vicious, vicious combo. And they're playing Mallow. So we have our hand and we have our Lucario. Unless they go for a Feeny play, but that also breaks lock. I don't know. Double Mallow. Cool engine. Ah, so they could be going for a Writer's Beating KO. With the choice band here, DC here. But they open up Abyssal, and that's really good for us. But they can finish us off next turn, I guess. It's almost like we want to end them this turn as well. Because then they'll only have one trade. They'll be mere mortals.
They will not have the power.
We don't want to Guzma. Because we need to get rid of this threat. This is the only way that we can get rid of the threats. Putting in cards that aren't... N is a little annoying, but it's one less draw, I guess. Do we even want these? Maybe this. This can be a sneaky win. Good old sneaky win. N or dead? Well, we got N. Do I want to pull out the Buzzwole now? Kinda do. Not without its cost, but hey. Spins an extra card. Let's see what they can do with one trade. They still have a lot of draw supporters, to be fair. 150 hit points, so they can get there with Shuriken Slash with Choice Band. Shuriken Slash without Choice Band, actually. No. No! You're...
Not like this.
Is this real life? Very good. Didn't even need to trade. Didn't even need it.
All.
Just add it.
Just add it all, mate.
Just add it. Just add space.
Oh, I just had the space.
That's a bad beat. That's a bad beat right there. Well, this deck's in the bin. Shemansky, what were you thinking, man?
How did you do it? Tell me.
Just had space.
Tell me your secrets. Just had space, mate. Just had space for 4 catches.
Just had space. Should have played Zora Garb. That would have been memery.
That would have been pure hilarity.
Anyways, that will be it for today's stream. Cheers for the game, Lil Sis. It does have the nice combination of drawing cards and ability lock, and good spread damage, so it does tick a lot of boxes, in fairness. And with the double Mallow Tord Engine thing going on, pretty cheeky. So,
Genius.
Lucario balloons! Oh, don't tempt me.
Oh, no.
Anyways.
I've got no reason at all to hit you. They take 60 plus $1 million next turn.
Only $1 million. Anyway, cheers, guys. I really haven't uploaded a battle video in a while, but I promise there'll be one tomorrow. Promise.
Look at that. That's a promise right there.
And on Wednesday, I think I have my scheduled Versus Series video, so hopefully I'll have finished it by the time we stream, and then I can tell you who it is. I won't say who it is now, because people like to wait. So, anyways, cheers, guys. Hope you enjoyed the stats and all that fun stuff. But yeah, see you next time.
Thanks for joining us, guys. See you on Wednesday.